Is Justin Fields going to have the best season of his career as a Jet?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Is Faraz about to hype up the Jets offense again? I looked into this, and the more I look at it, the more you should be excited about it. And yes, once again, I'm asking you to be excited about Garrett Wilson. And I'll tell you why in a second. And why Breece Hall can surprisingly still be racking up receptions despite Fields being a mobile quarterback. Justin Fields is set up nicer than you think in New York. First, look at the weapons that he's had in his career so far. In 2021, his rookie year, best weapon, Darnell Mooney. 2022, Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet, yet QB5 overall in fantasy points per game. In 2023, DJ Moore, QB8 in fantasy points per game. And what does DJ Moore do that season? You're gonna be shocked at what his 17-game pace was with Justin Fields that year. I'll get back to that. In 2024, last year, George Pickens. That's it. That's his best weapon. Good receiver, but a very specific type of receiver, a long ball specialist. 52% of Pickens' receiving yards last year came from 20-plus yard receptions. Only Alec Pierce had more. And Justin Fields, QB7 still, in fantasy points per game in his 6 starts. And his offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, not ideal. That leads me to his other offensive coordinators in Chicago. Bill Lazor, who has not had an OC job since. Luke Getsy for 2 years. Not ideal. Now he has Garrett Wilson, a true number 1 wide receiver, the closest thing he had to DJ Moore. And Garrett has a higher ceiling than Moore. 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons for Garrett, 80-plus catches in 3 straight seasons, 95 catches and then 101 catches the last 2 years, despite having to share targets with Davante Adams last season. And I'll let you know why Breece Hall can outperform expectations in the pass game here in a second, but do you guys know what DJ Moore's 17-game pace was just 2 years ago with Justin Fields? 98 catches for 1,500 yards and 11 touchdowns. In the 12 and a half games that they played together, Moore went over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns, just in those 12 and a half games. His best season by far, and it wasn't even close. And you're telling me that Garrett Wilson can't do this under an offensive coordinator who was just Ben Johnson's passing game coordinator in Detroit last season? Being the only legit receiver there who could be getting a 30% plus target share as the target funnel. Garrett Wilson is being drafted as the wide receiver 16 right now. Everyone's low on the Jets. I'm taking advantage, which leads me to Breece Hall, who's being drafted as the RB11. More room to run alongside a rushing quarterback, behind a solid offensive line of what probably will be a run-first offense. But also, while scrambling quarterbacks usually don't check it down much, over the last 2 seasons in 2 different systems, Fields has checked it down at the 2nd highest and 5th highest rate among all quarterbacks. So the way I see it, Garrett Wilson must be down there somewhere. If not, either where's Breece or let's tuck and run. Sounds like a lot of fantasy points to me.